Look upon the heart of London. Concrete, steel, and endless driving rain. But the ground beneath your feet is a geological illusion, temporary and fleeting. Wind the clock back 160 million years. The city vanishes. You are treading water in a warm, shallow, and impossibly vibrant tropical sea. Europe as we know it simply does not exist. It has been erased. Instead, a scattered archipelago of lush, sun-drenched islands defies the endless blue. Land is a rare luxury here. The Earth has rewritten the rules of survival. To live in this world is to bow to the absolute dominance of water. The great supercontinent, Pangaea, is tearing itself apart in a slow, tectonic agony. Deep beneath the crust, immense volcanic forces drive the ancient landmasses away from each other. As the continents fracture, global sea levels surge dramatically, drowning the ancient lowlands. Earth's rising tides swallow entire landscapes, leaving only the very highest peaks exposed. These isolated peaks become the European archipelago, a fragmented sanctuary surrounded by peril. The climate is fiercely hot. There are no ice caps at the poles. Global temperatures soar, generating warm ocean currents that circulate freely across the flooded globe. The atmosphere is heavy, thick with moisture, and the vital breath of carbon dioxide. This creates a vast epicontinental sea, a shallow body of water covering continental crust. Sunlight easily penetrates these shallow depths, fueling a magnificent explosion of biological productivity. Life rushes in to claim this newly flooded paradise. The waters are incredibly rich. But the Earth is a cruel architect. The environment she builds dictates the life within. Geography is destiny. Here, the boundaries of water force life down two extreme paths. On these scattered specks of land, resources are painfully limited and strictly controlled. Yet, in the boundless, sunlit waters, entirely different laws of nature are at play. The stage is set, a fragmented world of tiny islands and infinite hungry seas. We are entering the realm of the Oxford clay, where monsters are born. We return to the sunlit surface, where isolated patches of green cling desperately to survival. On these fragmented islands, the Earth imposes a brutal, undeniable tax on all biological ambition. Space is finite. Food is scarce. The towering giants of the mainland simply cannot endure here. Enter the phenomenon of insular dwarfism. The island shrinks its inhabitants to fit the tiny cage. This is a long-necked sauropod, a lineage of titans, evolutionarily compressed to the size of a cow. By shedding mass, they require less energy. It is an elegant evolutionary compromise dictated entirely by geography. When an island is stripped bare, these resilient survivors are forced to swim to the next sanctuary. They become island hoppers, braving the open channels where the true rulers of this era lie waiting. Beneath the waves, the terrestrial rules of limitation are completely and utterly shattered. The ocean is boundless. Here, the lack of physical borders fuels an explosion of terrifying gigantism. Meet the ophthalmosaurus, a specialized marine reptile perfectly adapted to hunt in the dim oceanic depths. Its massive eyes can pierce the gloom, finding prey where others are blinded by the shadows. Sharing these waters is the plesiosaur, a bizarre predator moving with the grace of a sea turtle. Its serpentine neck acts as a stealthy strike mechanism, plucking fish before its massive body arrives. But even these formidable hunters are merely prey in the unforgiving hierarchy of the Oxford clay. A shadow emerges from the abyss. The ultimate apex predator of the Jurassic marine world approaches. Behold, Liopleurodon, a colossal pliosaur, built for absolute destruction, patrolling the channels between the islands. With jaws 4 times more powerful than a modern crocodile, it is an engine of pure devastation. Despite its massive bulk, 4 enormous flippers propel this leviathan forward with terrifying, explosive speed. There is no escape. The pliosaur strikes, and the bloody hierarchy of the deep is violently maintained. Above, the dwarf dinosaurs know nothing of this titan. They merely see a calm, sparkling surface, 2 wildly divergent paths of evolution, pushed to their absolute extremes by the shifting of continents. This brutal, beautiful balance between the islands and the abyss thrives for millions of uninterrupted years. But the Earth is endlessly restless. The stage is preparing to shift once again, bringing absolute death. A silent, suffocating climax approaches. The very foundations of this vibrant ocean are about to collapse. The vibrant, circulating currents that breathed life into this shallow sea begin to fail. Tectonic rhythms shift once more, subtly closing off the vital oceanic circulation pathways. Without the cleansing flow of the open ocean, these warm epicontinental waters stagnate entirely. The brilliant sunshine is choked out by thick, suffocating blooms of toxic surface algae. Deep in the water column, a silent and invisible killer begins to spread outward. Oxygen, the vital fuel of this marine paradise, is rapidly and completely depleted. Even the mighty leviathans cannot fight the shifting, toxic chemistry of their own home. Anoxic conditions claim the sea. The vibrant ecosystem collapses into a grim, silent graveyard. From above, a relentless rain of microscopic silt and dead organic matter begins to fall. This is marine snow, falling for millennia, building the dark foundation of the Oxford clay. Scavengers cannot survive in this oxygen-starved abyss. The fallen titans are left completely untouched. They are entombed in a perfect, suffocating darkness, protected from the ravages of decay. The fine-grained clay packs tightly around them, creating a pristine, airtight seal of preservation. The fragmented islands erode, bleeding their own earth into the stagnant sea below. The island-hopping dinosaurs watch their sanctuary slowly dissolve into a hostile and toxic wasteland. Earth is hitting the reset button. The era of the scattered archipelago is ending. Millions of years pass. The mud compresses under the unimaginable weight of deep time. The seas eventually retreat. The world dries, leaving behind a massive, solid clay foundation. This remarkably thick, fossil-rich layer of rock becomes known to us as the Oxford clay. It forms a vast subterranean ribbon, stretching endlessly beneath the very feet of modern Europe. At a microscopic level, minerals slowly replace bone, perfectly capturing the echoes of life. The great marine reptiles, once absolute rulers of the boundless blue, are turned to stone. The vibrant, shallow sea has been entirely replaced by a desolate, anoxic underwater desert. Massive submarine mudslides occasionally sweep across the bottom. instantly entombing any lingering benthic life. The environment has become completely toxic. Survival here is no longer an evolutionary option. The Earth breathes again. Shifting tectonic plates force the heavy ocean floor slowly upward. The isolated sea begins to drain. The water evaporates, exposing the dark mud to sunlight. New life tentatively steps onto the newly exposed land, unaware of the sleeping giants below. Time accelerates. The climate fluctuates wildly, baking and freezing the exposed clay over millennia. Nutrient-rich mud, born of ancient death, ironically becomes highly fertile ground for new life. The islands are entirely gone. A single connected landmass has risen to claim the continent. Towering forests take root exactly where plesiosaurs once swam and hunted in the sunlit waters. The era of insular dwarfism ends. Giant dinosaurs march freely across the newly forged continent. Yet, just beneath their thundering feet, the silent, heavy legacy of the Oxford clay remains. A massive, continuous ribbon of dark gray clay sits patiently in the dark, holding secrets. The geography of the distant past is locked permanently into the very bedrock of the present. The immense pressure of the earth above turns the soft mud into dense, unyielding shale. The rich organic matter cooks slowly, creating vital pockets of energy within the ancient stone. The terrifying apex predators are reduced to silent passengers on a continuously changing geological ship. Ice ages will come and go. Continents drift. But the Oxford clay remains perfectly undisturbed. The earth sculpts its final masterpiece, carving out the familiar, jagged shape of modern Britain. Beneath the idyllic, rolling green hills of the English countryside, the Jurassic graveyard slumbers peacefully. Rainwater cannot penetrate this dense clay, creating vast wetlands and rushing rivers on the surface. The ancient mud dictates the flow of modern rivers, silently shaping the geography of today. The cataclysm is finally over. The earth has entirely hidden its violent and watery past. Until, millions of years later, a new species arrives to dig deep into the earth's memory. Humanity discovers the thick, pliable mud, completely unaware of the terrifying monsters buried within it. We mold the sediment of the ancient epicontinental sea into the literal blocks of civilization. By firing the clay, we force the ancient marine snow to become unyielding stone once more. Each brick is a monument, a hardened fragment of a lost, sun-drenched Jurassic archipelago. As centuries pass, our tools grow massive. The Industrial Revolution demands endless mountains of clay. Giant steam excavators tear deep into the earth, biting huge chunks of the Jurassic floor. The Oxford clay is ripped from its silent darkness and thrust into the blinding sun. But as the shovels dig deeper, the sleeping monsters of the archipelago are suddenly awakened. A Victorian quarryman brushes dirt from a massive, perfectly preserved jawbone embedded in the mud. The razor-sharp teeth of Liopleurodon catch the sunlight for the first time in eons. Humanity realizes with sudden awe that we are mining the graveyard of an alien world. The ancient titans are carried away to museums, but the endless mud itself marches onward. Millions of tons of this ancient marine snow are baked in massive, roaring industrial kilns. The rich, organic matter of the Jurassic Sea actually helps the clay burn from within. The resulting bricks are cheap, incredibly strong, and undeniably born of absolute geological devastation. Trains carry these hardened blocks of ocean floor toward the rapidly expanding heart of civilization. The dark mud of the island archipelago is about to become the foundation of empire. Row by row, street by street, the great metropolis of modern London begins to rise. Bricklayers meticulously stack the ancient marine sediment, creating the walls of our homes and businesses. Look closely at the classic, iconic brickwork of a Victorian townhouse in the British capital. You are looking at the compressed, baked dust of a warm, vibrant, tropical shallow sea. The microscopic remains of ancient plankton are permanently sealed within the walls of the city. We have unknowingly constructed our modern world using the physical ghosts of the distant past. The scale of this transformation is entirely staggering, a testament to deep, unending geological time. The city sprawls outward, an ocean of concrete and brick perfectly replacing the ocean of water. Commuters rush past these ancient monuments every single day, completely blind to the silent history. The rhythm of modern life echoes loudly over the perfectly preserved silence of the abyss. We return to the present moment, back to the driving rain on the busy streets. The rain falls steadily, washing over the red bricks, trying to dissolve the hardened clay. But the ancient mud holds firm, supporting millions of footsteps across the bustling modern pavement. The geography that starved the dwarf dinosaurs now shelters millions of thriving, oblivious human beings. It is a profound, dizzying connection across 160 million years of time. The very ground that defines our reality is nothing but a temporary, fleeting physical arrangement. Underneath, the pavement, the dark, thick ribbon of the Oxford clay waits with endless patience. It knows that human cities, like the tropical archipelago before them, are ultimately doomed to fall. The tectonic plates continue their slow, unstoppable march, uncaring of the empires built upon them. One day, the oceans will rise again, or the continents will shatter into new islands. The great city of London will eventually be swallowed by the shifting rhythms of Earth. Our concrete and steel will crumble, slowly sinking into the dark mud of tomorrow's oceans. We too will become a mysterious, compressed layer of sediment for another age to discover. This is the ultimate, undeniable law of geological determinism. Earth is the only true architect. So, the next time you walk the rain-slicked streets of a great, sprawling modern city, pause for a moment. Feel the cold, hard brick resting beneath your wet, shivering fingertips. Listen closely to the distant, thundering roar of the traffic passing by in the night. Or is that the sound of a massive, dark leviathan cutting through the shallow sea? When the concrete finally cracks and fades, what monsters will swim through our ruined streets?